Let's get a prayer in, everybody. I'm gonna do a little prayer here. Our pasta, who art in colander, draining be your noodles. Thy noodle come, thy sauce be yum, on top of some grated parmesan. Give us this day our garlic bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trample on our lawns, and lead us not into vegetarianism, but deliver us some pizza, for thine is the meatball, the noodle, and the sauce, forever and ever. Ramen.
I'd love to get a second draft on that. If we could just
ramen.
I'll say this: the only part of it I liked was the "give us our garlic bread." That was the only.
Well, me and Chris have also run into this. Is an interesting like overlap with the chive. Is lead us not into vegetarianism. So this is another group that is like, we don't need these vegetarians are bugging me, which is a very 2012.
Yeah.
I thought they said everyone's welcome.
Well, not vegetarian.
Okay, fair enough.
And I feel like, and tell me if I'm going too off on a limb here, this was also a time where vegetarianism is like, oh, that's a gay thing to do.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, it's
tied up with it, right?
They're annoying. They're always trying to get us to eat vegetables. Like that was like their anger about it.
Okay, so again, they seem to be. So, are you not supposed to talk about being in the past? Because they seem really kind of against the idea of just being annoying about your stuff. So, do they?
No, you're supposed to. I have a little bit of information on evangelizing. If you would,
that's what I was going to ask. Is this a missionary religion or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, they say, I'm getting down here. Okay, well, we could do an elevator pitch or. Do Pastafarians evangelize? I know that the religion details, and there are tens. I know what the religion details, and there are tens of thousands of followers of the noodly faith. Did more people join the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster because they heard about it and decided to jump on the bandwagon? Parentheses, discovered it through the internet or in books, or
where else? I guess from a person, right?
TV, or do Pastafarians who are currently in the faith actually actively evangelize the way like Christians and Muslims do? Certiphobe says, well, we can infer our creator's own noodly opinion by knowing that he quab. Okay, so quab, Q-U-O-B, is the pronoun for he's either he or quab. Like it's a pronoun thing that you call him because he doesn't have a gender.
Yeah, you ever get cornered by someone who's like really into Star Trek or something like that, and they're telling you about all these little rules, and it's like, shut the fuck up. I don't care about any of this. I don't care. Quab? What the fuck is quab?
I believe the last week's episode, the Warhammer one had a lot of that kind of those types of words and like that kind of language that I just had no way to even get any sort of grasp.
We also read the nerdiest sentence, but I'm about to fucking give you some stuff.
Okay,
right now. He goes, don't go around telling people that he quab talks to us because it's true. So that's one less reason to go around evangelizing. Also, there's no sense of urgency to save people like there is in Christianity. We were also blessed with tools like Wikipedia and DuckDuckGo and others. So if anyone wants DuckDuckGo,
it feels like a joke to a lot of these. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel serious at all.
It's almost a joke in some sense.
I'm trying to understand if there are people who take it seriously, or like what the sort of level of interaction is with it. Because that seems like a straight up they're just goofing around. Like we're blessed with Wikipedia,
They are goofing around. That I think that's true. This is like their sense of humor, right?
Yeah.
And DuckDuckGo and others. So if anyone wants to learn and know about our true creator, they can search, and they shall probably find right below the ad and for the plea for donations to the Wikimedia Foundation. All that being said, it's my personal opinion that it's okay to advertise. It's okay and good to demand, request equal time and space for flying spaghetti monsterism in public places alongside Christian-based propaganda. TLDR, advertise yes, evangelize not really. So they do not evangelize, Tom.
Okay.
What would you do though? What would you? I want to go around. I'll start with Tom here. What are you doing if one of these guys like is standing on the street and you have to walk by them, like you see them ahead with the colanders on their head, with maybe some pamphlets, and you have to walk by them? How do you deal with
Here's
that?
the thing: is like I'm usually drawn to like zealotry, you know what I mean? Like I want to know what makes people tick and all that kind of stuff, but I have no patience for people like this, because say what you want about like Christianity or Islam or any of the Abrahamic religions or anything else out there, there's people way smarter than me that have died for that stuff. You know what I mean? My hunch is that that these guys would not be willing to
No. And how do you deal with that, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, Tom is so right. Like, at least like those other religions, like I live in LA, you can go by the Scientology centers and there are people standing outside of them trying to get you in. I think I respect those guys more than I respect these guys. Like that, they think it's so fucking clever, this little joke that they have, right? And it's not. Like it's more like the proper comparison to me is like, how would you deal with an improv comedy troupe invading your personal space? This
is so like that guy, the Church of Stop Shopping. Do you guys remember that?
No, what's that?
This was in the early I think this is really early when I was like becoming like kind of politically aware of stuff, and I was maybe a Democrat, but there was this guy like that acted like a reverend for a thing called Improv Everywhere, and a bunch of them would get together and they would do this thing called the Church of Stop Shopping around Christmas, and they would get on subways and go in public and start like doing these big huge acts. And I remember seeing that and like being like, I hope I'm never somewhere where something like this happens.
I have to tell you right here and now, I don't do skits. I live in a skit-free zone.
Yeah, so you're not into sketches.
If I happen into a skit, I'm out.
Dan, you mentioned you live in LA.
Yes.
That's where we hung out, you remember?
We did. We got the Popeye's chicken sandwich on
Hollywood Boulevard. What an LA experience.
It was like an episode of Entourage,
I just wanted to throw that down there because Bryan always tries to assert that he's more of an LA guy than me, and I just wanted to get some evidence of me doing something pretty LA with an actual LA guy.
Right. Well, Chris, you're not American.
No, I know that, but it doesn't make me less. Because Bryan also claims to be Canadian, just to be clear.
Okay.
So this actually doesn't work for him, really.
No,